Hello and welcome to probably the choppiest Heartopia review that you're ever gonna see, because we have a lot of things to cover and to talk about, and I don't want to waste your time, so I'm just gonna be like cutting from point to point pretty much. In order to start talking about Heartopia, I kind of need to introduce to you what Heartopia even is. Heartopia is what I would call a cozy game that is also a gatcha. It itself introduces itself as a life simulator MMO, which isn't quite accurate. You don't get a family, you don't get marriages, you don't get kids, you don't get generational play. You do get pets, you do get farming, you do get cooking, you do get fishing, you do get that sort of stuff. And MMO would also be kind of pushing it, because you will be placed on a shard with maybe 12 other people, as there's exactly 12 houses that your shard can support. And every single time when you log in, where your house is entirely randomized and you're placed into a new shard with new people. Currently on my shard, plot 3 and 12 is missing, so there's exactly 10 people on this slot. So what can you do in Heartopia? Well, first of all, you can raise pets. Let's just pat my cat. You can farm. This is an example of me harvesting. I can also do a little thing of, if I find a seed, here, have a potato. I can place the seed into my farming place. So you need to water your crops too, but mine are already watered. You can cook. So, for example, this is an example of grilling some mushrooms, just so that you're aware how cooking exactly works. Other hobbies include fishing. I am very conveniently near a pond, so I can demonstrate fishing for you. You cast the line, you wait for the fish to bite, which hopefully it will. It did. And then you pull the fish out, and if your line starts glowing red and blinking, then you should stop pulling on it for a bit. So another thing that you can do in this game is bird sightseeing. You take pictures of birds, it gets into your inventory, you can sell those pictures. The next thing that you can do is capture bugs. I see a bug. That also works. That's also a bug. You can also collect materials for both cooking and building. So, for example, this is wood. If I will put my tools away, then I can get branches off this tree. Now, your tools wear off. Out of branches, you make these things called repair kits. Then you throw them on the floor and stand around until your stuff has recovered. Now, every single action that you take consumes energy, and you can either eat to replenish that energy. I can just lie down into my bed and I will be recovering 1 energy per 5 seconds. If I am sleeping outside, because yes, that is also a possibility, you can find little tents outside that you can sleep in, I will be recovering 1 energy per 10 seconds. That is to say, you are not limited to 100 energy a day when it comes to things that you might want to do. What else can you do? Well, you can engage in house building. So I can just boop, 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 and I can like make a room. I can also place windows. They cost in-game gold, which is something that you can generate for free, and that is an easy currency to understand. I can place doors. There are roofs that I can place. Obviously, I can place flooring on the floor. There are stairs that you can place down, and the house that you're seeing in here is one of the prefab houses. So you just like select a house. I decided that I'm perfectly happy living in a prefab house. Majority of people don't, especially considering that you don't need to pay real life money for actually like building more. You can definitely see that this person is building because they currently are roofless on the side. So that is an example of people actually engaging with the build system. If the build system is not your thing, you can also play dress up. Let's just go into my personal closet. A lot of these clothes are things that you buy in-game for in-game gold from the shopkeeper. So you farm some money, then you go over there and you spend gold to purchase some outfits. Now, mind you, there are a couple small things that I haven't mentioned. Like, for example, there are events. Sometimes non-player characters, like the person over here, throw the event and they invite you. Sometimes people pay some gold in order to start the event. Events that are worth doing. There are fishing events. And in my opinion, also the bug catching events. Why? Because you're gonna get a lot of people spawning in a lot of bugs and fishes at the same time. So if you want bugs and fishes, it's easy to get quite loads of them by doing these kind of events. There is a bird sightseeing event, and that one is really, really hard to meet the requirement for, so I have never seen it to succeed. And there are small jumping puzzle events, which are so easy that your 3-year-old could probably do it, which I don't find very engaging. Outside of bugs, fish, depending on the event type. You will also get these kind of little gatcha eggs for doing the event, but they always will have pretty meaningless things like party poppers, hooray, they do an animation, and absolutely nothing else. So there's still like bits of gameplay that I can explain. Like, for example, the fact that you can place this down and you can paint pictures, but it is not just a picture that you can paint on. You can create a wearable picture, or you can create a picture on your furnishings. So for example, this piece of furnishing right here, I made this. I also have one shirt that is painted by me. What I'm saying is that this game, is incredibly highly customizable. Now that I have defined everything that this game is, let me tell you what exactly is the bad sides of it. Let's start here. On PC, the only way that this game is available, mind you, it's also available on mobile phones. It kind of looks mobile phony, doesn't it? You have to log in, you have to download TapTap, and you have to log in into TapTap, which is this developer's personal launcher. In order to create an account with this game, you have to connect either a Google account, a Facebook account, or an Apple account. And what's weirder is it tabs you out into an internet browser to do the connection, and then you need to give this game your local network access so that it can potentially send that information back into its launcher. I can't say whether they're fishing for information or whether they just programmed their own login weird. Secondly, the game is currently running a content creator event where the creator that gives this game a positive video with the most views garnered will receive significant prizes, up to $500, considering that this person is A, not hired by the company, so they're not an official content creator, and B, considering that they're not sponsoring a content creator, they go around quite a few of advertisement guidelines set up on different parts of the internet, because technically, they're not sponsoring people. Technically, if somebody gets a reward for this, they have won the reward. Some concerning bits about this current promotion. Prohibited content includes malicious negative reviews, core plot spoilers, or any other negative content, which makes sense, but they can disqualify you for any reason, and Article 11 states that the presence of inappropriate content in the submitter's channel history is a reason to eliminate people out of the competition. So, for example, I make this review, and it is not a glowing review because I am gonna be pointing out any issues that you do need to worry about. If Heartopia developers / community managers sees this video, and I would at any point in the future want to participate in a competition, I would be automatically excluded. What does this promote? This promotes coverage of multiple different people of your game that is positive only and glowing only. Welcome to bad point number 3, which is a very aggressive and very unfair monetization that also feels borderline deceptive. The game is monetized in multiple different ways, and there is multiple currencies. The red hearts that you see over here are paid only. This is pulls. This is draws. They're also paid only. A free-to-play player cannot get either one of these currencies. They're paid only. Free-to-play player can, to a point, get blue hearts. This is a store currency that is accessible for a free-to-play player. There are several different types of gacha happening at the same time. Let's talk about the blue heart gacha first, because it is cheaper. So first of all, no duplicate treasures. All treasures are guaranteed within 12 attempts. There are 12 items. You see this button that says 30 draw. You then calculate that 12 times 30 is how much currency it would take you to get a full outfit. And that is just not true. For one thing, the outfit has 3 separate colors, and you would need to pull for each of the colors separately. But secondly, what you would want to do is to click in and read the fine print. The number of moonlight crystals consumed per draw varies. The 12 draws require 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 190, all the way up to 430 moonlight crystals respectively. If you land on this moonlight relic bit, you get the full outfit immediately. If you don't, you have to continue paying. This full set of this outfit, which is not one of the most predatory gachas, but just one color, full set, will cost you 2,620 currency, or about 38 pounds. This is the free currency, so you get 10, 20, 40, 55, 105 per week. This does not account for time-limited events. Do you see how long it will take you to get to 2,620 without paying? It's gonna be a long while. They do have membership. The membership prices, admittedly, are kind of low. So if you're a member, in total you're gonna get 600 of the currency per month, plus 60 pulls. 60 of the pull currency, which sums up to actually about 10 pulls. It accumulates up to 7 days, so you can miss login for up to 7 days and log in and actually get your stuff, which will really speed up getting your store outfit. But this is the cheap gacha. Now let's look at the expensive gacha. The expensive gacha is for the pull tokens only, and you saw how slow the pull token generation works. Once again, this is something that you need to click into to read terms and conditions for. At first, you are guaranteed a non-duplicate important item from the banner for first 10 draws. But after that, you're only guaranteed that every 25 draws. In total, if I wanted to get this banner in particular, full set for tokens would cost me 1,860 tokens, or 18,600 premium currency, which translates to roughly 270 pounds. You can also pull for a furnishing gacha if you really wanted to, though this one's odds are even worse. Because first 10 draws guarantee a rare exhibit, but after that only every 30 draws are you guaranteed to obtain a rare exhibit. So what I'm trying to tell you is that the gacha system in this is very obtuse and very unfair. For example, you might click into the second kind of gacha that also goes for tokens, and you might be like, well, this one is cheaper. I'm gonna go and get this one. You need to pay 3 per draw. That's 30 tokens. Easy peasy, right? Actually click into here. The passes are required are as follows. 3 for the first one, 9 for the second one, 15 for the next one, 21, 27, 33, 39, 45, 45, 45. Wanna know another thing that kinda pisses me off? They have a survey, which I have filled out. Mind you, I don't know why they word the survey this way, because gacha games in China are banned when it comes to children. The youngest age on the survey that you can mark, I think, is something like 12 or 14. AKA it's teenage age. Which in China, if you're not in teen, you can't participate in gacha because gacha is gambling. So in the West, they not only fully expect children to be playing this game, they're probably kind of targeting them with their cozy graphics and their friendly world and a cozy game, and considering how predatory that monetization is for this game, yeah, that's like red flags galore. So I listed all the negatives. I listed what you can do in this game, and you might ask me, Mirta, after you listed all the negatives, well, what are you doing here? Are you gonna continue playing this game? And my answer is yes. There's something about this game. I have started a puzzle because I wanted to do this for the long time, but I wanted to show YouTube how puzzles work. You can purchase a puzzle from a vendor every single day. There is one new one. When you do the full puzzle, you can choose to disassemble it if you really, really want to, but also you can use it as a decoration. And I find that to be incredibly cool. From all of the things that I listed, there are quite a lot of things that I like. The environment is incredibly chill. It is very relaxing to just log in, do a bit of fishing, do a bit of bug catching, do your dailies, and like proceed with your life. This has become my go-to chill game over the 6 days that I played it, though it wasn't always gonna be so, because this game does this very weird thing where you have to do dailies in order to unlock further levels, in order to unlock further things that you can do. So the first day when you play this game, what it is 3 hours of tutorial and literally nothing else. And then further functionality unlocks as you continue playing. I played Palia quite a bit, and I kinda grew tired of Palia. Though funnily enough, what burnt me out wasn't lack of content. It is the fact that they released a very grindy part of content where you had to go and you had to dig up. It was like archaeology in the blue forest sort of thing. So you had to like dig up artifacts. You had to grind quite a bit in order to make thingies that will help you find the artifacts. The artifacts were random. You were expected to trade with other people. You could only get so many artifacts a day. In other words, the update took what to me was a very chill and cozy game into what then suddenly wasn't a chill and cozy game. Into something that was quite grindy. Is this game grindy? Well, sort of. As you level up your hobbies in order to unlock more of the thing that you're doing, you will need to do more and more of the thing that you're doing in order to progress and do more of that thing. So for example, if I wanted more fish, I would need to level up my fishing from level 4 to level 5, which I would need to catch quite a lot of fish to do that. But the thing is, the primary thing that I do in order to do so is, well, you know, fishing. It's the thing that you kind of signed up for when you signed up to play this game. So it is just do more of this chill activity in order to unlock this other bit of chill activity. I believe that I unlocked majority of the new shit that you can actually unlock in this game by about 6 days in. But it was very charming to actually log in and look forward to trying something new, doing something new. Even though the first day when you come in, this game is all bad impressions, considering that you get all of the bad up front, but all of the good you need the patience for. Oh hey look, I have nearly filled out this puzzle. However, I stuck with it past the first few days and it sort of became a habit and it sort of became a thing that I'm actually looking forward to doing. So I can just package this into my backpack now. And because I am doing this with all of my puzzles, I will then go find the puzzle in my inventory and I will, there we go. That's the puzzle that we did. It is indeed here. I will then put it up on my wall. And look, it stays on my wall. How cool is that? So it really surprised me. It has so many little details that you completely not expect. And you unlock more and more things to do as things pass. So you're like, I'm logging in to play my cozy chill game and maybe make a couple meals, harvest a couple potatoes, figure out where the vendor is, then actually go to the vendor and like sell any things that you have for sale. You sell your stuff to this one wandering vendor. So, you know what? Have a frog. I don't think that anyone is gonna eat a frog. You can also have my grilled mushrooms. You then earn some gold. You can then get back on your vehicle and you can go to all the nice stores. Get off my bicycle. Can leave it wherever. Nobody can steal it. I can then go over here into the clothes store and be like, I wonder what is for sale today. This is a daily currency, by the way, those stars. You can also buy expansions to your inventory with that currency, which I would recommend doing. But let's say that I want a bath towel. Why not? So I come in here and I buy a wearable bath towel. I go across the street into the furniture shop. I believe this thing refreshes weekly, but I have seen new offerings in here on the daily basis. I could probably buy myself a potted pepper elder. So I can then purchase this plant, and that's what I do in my day. And on doing those activities, you then get to also experience a lot more of the unexpected things about this game, such as the fact that suddenly you have unlocked the ability to make custom clothing that day, or suddenly you found a bubble that has held a pattern for how to make a toilet. So you log in and you're like, I have this idea as to what I want to do today, and then you find something new and unexpected. And then you're like, hooray, I like this new and unexpected thing. And then maybe you chill and do some building, or do some cooking, or join some events. Like, I am now joining into this person's world, then I can catch some bugs with some friendly people. And there's so many little things that I can't even explain to you about this game. Like, they're random wild animals and you can just feed them. And if you feed them, they have a chance of leaving you a gift. And I find that to be pretty cool. It's those kind of things, those kind of tiny little things that keep me hooked and make me want to continue playing. You know what? If you just want a chill, cozy, Animal Crossing-like game, and you don't mind jumping through hoops in order to either make sure that your account is secure, because you're gonna run it in the virtual emulator, or you don't care about that and you're just gonna download it directly onto your computer and you don't mind, as long as you're not gonna touch its monetization, I would say go for it. If you have a kid, because it's a gacha, I would 100% forbid you from allowing your kid to ever play it. You have to have a fully adult brain that is able of impulse control in order to play a gacha. You should be able to read the fine print to figure out all of the gacha mechanics inside the gacha, because these things are incredibly scummy and incredibly predatory. So you got a kid, don't let them play this. Even if it's friendly, it's not for kids. You're an adult, you know that you have good impulse control. You want something to log in every single day in order to pat your adorable cat, play with your adorable puppy, and build a house, perhaps, buy some more clothes for your character, run around with other players in order to collect some bugs or collect some fish. Is that your thing? Like doing some cooking? Maybe completing some collections, perhaps? Like I have been doing? Leveling up your hobbies? Perhaps throwing a party or two? Yeah, go ahead. This game is really good for that, and I would say that it is a lot more engaging for me than a lot of offline games that do this kind of thing, mainly because this kind of game leans itself into unlock something new every single day, but kind of be limited by the amount of progress that you can do by having to log in and having like separate sessions of play. This kind of game leans very well into this because it's casual. The fact that you have to make your play sessions small and not something that you can necessarily binge play. And some people were binge playing it, but really you would just be farming money. And even then, if you purchased all the clothes and all of the furnishings for the day, there's not really much that you can do. If I had to give it a rating, I would say that free-to-play experience is 8 out of 10 if you have a functioning adult brain and you can stay away from the store and its entirety and won't suffer from giant amount of FOMO. If you do suffer from giant amount of FOMO, stay away from this game. Obviously keep your kids away from this game. Gacha games are not appropriate for children. There are some security concerns, and I also have a personal concern that the coverage of this game online will be increasingly overly positive Because if you're not, you are effectively eliminating yourself from being able to participate in the future competitions that grant you real-life money, or in the current competition that grants you real-life money, and a lot of people won't want that, therefore they will only cover this game positively. Those are my personal concerns. This was my full opinion of what I think about this game. Now I want to hear from you. Are you gonna be playing Heartopia? Is Heartopia your sort of thing? If you're not, don't blame you, but just like, what do you think about this whole thing? What kind of opinions are you carrying about this? And would you want me to cover anything else about this game? Because honestly, I wouldn't mind covering this game on the regular because I will be playing on the regular. But for me to cover it on the regular, I would kind of need to know what exactly would you be interested in me covering, and whether there is any interest in seeing this game covered at all. So this is something that I want to hear about from you guys. Other than that, thank you for listening for my incredibly long review. Thank you so much for my Patreon supporters, and I hope that I'm gonna see you on my other videos. Toodaloo.